first one is, if God is so good, why is there so much bad in the world?
So, yes, so if God's a good God, then why is the world bad? So God initially created, when God created the heavens and the earth, and He created earth, He created the Garden of Eden, which was a perfect paradise. And He placed man and eventually Eve, man and woman, in the garden. And everything was perfect and everything was beautiful. And man had perfect unity and fellowship with God. And so God, in that garden, in order for in any relationship for there to be true companionship, true trust, and true love, there has to be, true love and true companionship, there has to be a level of trust. So in that perfect paradise, God created everything, told Adam he could partake of any of the fruit, anything in the garden, it was his, he had dominion. But then in the middle of that garden, God placed one tree. It was the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And He told Adam, you can have anything here, you can partake in any of the fruit, anything here in the garden. This one tree, God said, I don't want you to eat of the fruit of this one tree. Now, a lot of people think that tree was some magic tree that had this magic fruit. But I believe it was just a tree. It was just a tree with fruit. There was no magic in the tree in of itself. It was simply the one thing God said, don't do this. It was the one thing that God asked Adam to be obedient to. And Adam failed. In its human nature, to desire knowledge or to desire to be independent. That is human nature. This can be a long answer, but being created in God's image, we are created. If we're created in God's image, then we are created with some sense of leadership, some sense of authority, some sense of I want to say superiority, but that might be a bad word to use. But some sense of being one and being able to make our own choices, our own decisions. So in God putting this one tree in the garden and saying, this is the tree of, basically the tree of obedience, in my opinion. God said, don't take of this fruit. Man, of course, being tempted by the serpent, and all the serpent didn't bend Adam's wrist or force him to take the tree. He played on Adam's own desires. And Satan, the serpent, said, God didn't say you couldn't eat. Certainly God didn't say you couldn't eat of this tree. The way the serpent played the words is simply that God knows that when you eat of this tree, you will gain the knowledge of not only good, but of evil as well. Because up until that point, Adam knew no evil. All Adam knew was good. All Adam knew was relationship with God, relationship with his wife, dominion over the garden. All he knew was good and purity. So when Adam crossed the line, took part of that fruit, he basically crossed the line of obedience. He did the one thing God said don't do. So in doing that, he then understood what evil was. He understood what breaking the rules is. So that's how sin entered the world. That's how evil entered the world. And through sin, through that one act of disobedience, bad things came into the world. Until that point, he only knew good. Now he knows evil. And so now evil is part of the world. So God created a perfect world. He didn't create the world to be corrupt. He didn't create the world to be evil. But he did create man with choice. And God knew the possibilities of man having choice. And man took that choice and went against what God asked him to do, and then evil, sin entered the world. And I think I even forgot the beginning, the whole question, but God didn't create the world to be evil. God created man with choice, and by our own choice, we have brought evil into the world. Did that answer that, or did I go around? Let me say to the viewers, if I had said things that frustrated you or made you mad or you absolutely disagree with, please send your comments, because we would like to discuss those. yeah, we would like to have some dialogue, and if it's through the comments, that'd be great. I don't say that I have all the answers. I'm a fallible person, just like any other man, but I stand on what I believe. I'm Pastor Mike, P. Mike. I believe that you can be free, and we're here to help. You can be free, and we're here to help.